24 minutes after the hour, no tuition, no problem. The president just announced a sweet deal for students. As long as they get a C+ average, they can have 2 years of community college for free. Is that fair to the taxpayers who might ultimately foot the bill? Natalia Abrams is executive director at the Student Debt Crisis Organization, and Caleb Bonham is editor-in-chief of campusreform.org. Good morning. Thanks for being with us, both of you.
Good morning.
Natalia, I'll start with you. You're a supporter, and you say that this is a fantastic idea, but is the issue really higher education needs to be more readily available to America's youth, or is it jobs need to be more readily available?
Well, it's both. We need both jobs and we need higher education. Higher education, a college degree, is the surest ticket to get a job. Most people that have college degrees, the unemployment's much lower. You're more likely to get a better job, and you're definitely going to make more over the lifetime of your working life if you go to college. So it's very important, and we applaud this plan, but we still need more comprehensive solutions along with the president's plan.
And Caleb, what do you say about this? I mean, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Is there such a thing as free community college, or is this just shifting who's paying for it?
Well, this is shifting who's paying for it. What we're seeing this administration turn into in many elements is one giant infomercial. They're talking about from the makers of free health care and free phones and free amnesty comes free community college, and you can have it for the low payment of over $60 billion over the span of 10 years. Yes, college is extremely important, and it does increase your employability. However, it is not the government's role to be providing free community college, and the truth is that this is not going to be free. It's going to be a massive expense. It's going to be passed on to the taxpayers, and ultimately it is going to hurt students.
And Natalia, some say that this is just a power play because it doesn't appear that it may pass the Republican-led Congress, and it's designed to make the GOP look evil. How do you respond to that?
I believe that this is starting the discussion. We need to talk about college affordability in this country. And Caleb's right, it's not a free lunch, and the president himself said so. This will be free to students, not free to taxpayers. However, the Department of Education is projected by the CBO to make over $100 billion in the next 10 years. That's more than double the president's proposal. I see the money right there.
Well, and the way it would break down is the federal government would pay 3/4 of it, and then states would be left to foot the rest of the bill.
Exactly.
So that means all of us, you and me, would be paying for it. Caleb, a lot of people think that college education, the problem is that the middle class are the ones who have the biggest problems. The poor can get scholarships, the rich have the extra spare cash for the college, and it's the middle class that really needs to be helped. Does this help the middle class?
This does not help the middle class. As the point she made is that there's over $120 billion there. Take a look at how the Affordable Care Act was implemented. Affordable Care Act was campaigned on the idea that this is only going to cost $900 billion. Well, when the CBO came out and actually analyzed the true costs associated with it, it came out and it was over $1.8 trillion to implement. As we're seeing at the Leadership Institute's Campus Reform, when the government is proposing a plan, they're never able to actually give the correct cost of what it's going to take to implement it. If this plan goes through, and it's most likely not going to go through, they would have to receive spending approval by Congress, and the newly elected Republican Congress is probably not going to approve a government takeover of community colleges. Right. And this is not going to help the middle class at all. It's going to be a bigger burden.
Well, we certainly do want all of our youth to have access somehow to higher education and fight the brain drain and be able to compete on an international stage. But is this the answer? Natalia and Caleb, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Coming up on Fox and Friends, she spent years